You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for Hater. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest hater news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for Hater.
Hello. Here I am, Roxy Stroud.
And here I am, Phil Spita.
And then here we are. Okay, so we just watched Hater, which is a new
I hate
show.
Roxy so much that I didn't actually watch the show because I didn't want to watch it with her.
That's really mean. Do you think I can, by the end of this show, change it around so you don't hate me so much?
Perhaps, but you'll have to fill me in on what actually happened so I can comment in, and if you do that well enough, you may convert me.
Okay, so as of now, you hate me, but at the end, I'm going to ask the big question, are you still a hater?
Yes.
And you have to have your mind made up. Okay, so I'll fill you in while I'm filling everybody else in. We start with Scott from Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
I love Scott.
who I don't watch the show. So on the show, is he a big douche?
He is an absolute big douche. I only know it because we do Keeping With the Kardashians for AfterBuzz TV with Jackie Moran and Mari Fagel, and I'm the one who engineers those shows out of Studio B. And I got the privilege to see one episode, and Scott was he goes to Vegas where he had a paid appearance, and his wife is like, don't drink, please don't drink, and he's like, what's one drink? And then ends up being belligerent, lies to her and all that. Then Kris Jenner, comes up to him, and he's basically lounging by the pool, and she says, "This is what you do all day?" And he says, "No, I'm working hard here." And he's not working hard.
That comes up in this episode about him working. But so he's supposedly a reformed alcoholic and now trying not to be, and has a kid.
Yeah.
So he's trying to change his whole image, which is why he went on the show, to prove to the world that he wasn't a douche. He was a mega douche. He ended up saying that he hates the hater.
That's awesome.
That's how it ended. You got to rewind and go back and watch it. So he converted the hater to not hating him, and now he hates the hater himself.
But does the hater like him now?
Yeah. So he changed her mind. Well, kind of. I couldn't really tell because she said, yeah, sort of. So it was this girl who hated him because he's a douche. They met up at Sugar Rock, the restaurant, and Rock Sugar. Okay, so they met there, and he totally cut her in line to be seated, slipped the hostess a $100 bill, was just being like mega, mega douche. And I thought he was putting on a show for her, but it seems to me that really is him. And she got in a fight with him. They physically were screaming at each other in the restaurant. He really sucked. And the whole time, it was this big to-do. Finally, they go bowling, and she turns to him and says, okay, let's see. Have you ever had a job? And he goes, I mean, you mean work? She was like, yeah, what do you do for a living? He kind of was like, what do you mean? I'm famous. What do you mean, what do I do? It was a really funny moment, and finally she makes him clean the shoes, the bowling shoes. He freaks out. He's cleaning, scraping the gum off. It was hysterical to watch. He was making every douchey comment in the world. He was like, I would never do this in my job. Who does this? In front of the people who actually do that. Big douche. She asked him to clean the bathroom. That's where he drew the line. So he couldn't really change her mind, and then finally did when he sat down. They had their heart-to-heart, and she asked him kind of what's going on. And he was like, I was a douche. I'll be real with you. I was a douche, but I'm not anymore. And I'm really trying to change. And so she said, okay, I'm not a hater. But the whole episode, he was being a douchebag. So
I just love the people who say, I'm trying to change, and all of a sudden then just, Roxy, I'm part of your generation, but our generation is as such. You say I want to be better than my parents, or you say I want to be better than that person. How do you become better than that person? Is it by working hard, by accomplishing more things than that other person? No, it's simply you get to say I am better than that person, and that automatically makes you better than that person. So
How do you get to say that?
you just do. You just have that self-entitlement. Like, I want to be better than Roxy. Okay, well, then I just have to follow up with, you know what? I am better than Roxy. I don't need an explanation. I don't need a reason. That's just our generation.
I don't think that's
And Scott
true.
is totally in that. Like, I'm not. You know what? I don't want to be a douche anymore. You know what? I'm not a douche. Why?
So-
Because I said so.
Because he says it, it's true.
Yes.
So I could say I'm a famous millionaire, and
It doesn't quite work that. It has to be a little more abstract.
okay, so
It can't be, you know what I mean? Like a famous millionaire, that's something that, you have to have the millions for. So that's something concrete. But if you say, like, you know what? I'm an amazing student. You don't actually need the grades to show that you're an amazing. You just
So you
are
could get-
an amazing student.
I could fail every class, and when my dad asked me why are you failing, I would say, oh, don't worry about it. I'm an amazing student.
It's just the teachers suck.
Oh, so really it's about pointing blame somewhere else.
Yeah.
So in Scott's case, it's I'm a reformed person, I'm awesome, and the hater sucks.
Yeah.
So, okay. Jeez, you have quite an I forget because we haven't done a show together in a little bit. Your outlook on life is interesting, to say the least.
I'm just merely pointing out observations from observing the world.
Okay.
I mean,
as told by Phil.
Scott just said, I'm not a douche. Oh, okay. You're not a douche anymore. Oh.
But I think it was more he kind of got emotional about it, and she could see and didn't want to hate him, even though he was just such a douche. He was such a douche. You should.
See, like that. Okay, so one moment of redemption or whatever, that doesn't mean you stop being a douche. That doesn't mean
That's
like
what I'm
that
saying. Because he says he's not a douche doesn't mean he's not a douche.
Yeah, well, that's my point all along. But in the
No, your
in the
point's
world,
the opposite.
yes, well, in a world that we live in, he could just say that, and it's true. But my point is that it's not actually true, but we believe that it is true.
Okay, and so
Obviously, the hater does.
is he part of our generation?
Not necessarily, but he's on the cusp, and he's adopted ways from our generation.
Right.
Let's just say.
So he talks about having a kid. Mortifying for the kid to watch this, I feel like. Not only, because we're going to get to Eva Longoria, who she has a hater, but she does not have haters. She's amazing. He has haters. I would say he probably has more haters than lovers. Likers, whatever they'd be called. A lot of reality show people are like that. So having a kid and going on the show and saying that you're going on for redemption and then acting like that, weird choice. No, you don't think. You think because he went on and said he's not a bad guy.
Well, I don't think it's a choice for him. I think he wants to, but he just can't not be a douche.
Okay.
How do you unlearn, whatever? Let's just say he's 27 years old. How do you unlearn 27 years of doucheness in an hour?
I don't think it's possible, which is why I think the hater should have stayed hating. But then
Right.
again, I don't hate him. I think he's funny.
I don't hate him. I love Scott.
No, I know.
I
That's
think
what
he's
I'm saying.
amazing. I love him because he's a douche.
But the worst part of the frickin' episode, and this is actually why Scott started hating the girl, was because he turns to her and says, have you ever had any haters? And she goes, no one's ever hated me. And he goes, no one has ever hated you. And she goes, nope. And he goes, have you ever gotten in an argument with your best friend? She goes, I've never gotten in an argument with anybody. What? He was like, well, aren't you Mother Teresa then? Oh, great. She got in a fight with him in the restaurant just a little before. She's not like this little, quiet, timid girl. She was fighting with him. It's like, that's when I was like, okay, you're a big douche too. You're both a bunch of douches.
There you go. They're both a bunch of douches.
Okay, well, I think that's with them. Who's not a douche, though, is my girl, Eva Longoria.
How does someone hate Eva Longoria?
I don't know. And this person that hated Eva Longoria hated her because she's not owning up to being Latina, which is so not true about her.
I mean, I don't know if he watches our AfterBuzz TV for Desperate Housewives, but there's so many news
Which I
and
also
gossip.
host.
There you go. So many news and gossip items about how Eva Longoria is promoting being a Latina.
Always. Always. First of all, I even think her character on the show promotes being a Latina.
Yeah.
Just because they're not showing a Latina in the slums and struggling, that's awesome. It's somebody for people to look up to. She's doing really well. And she
By the way, we have two awesome dogs in our studio audience, and they are just wrestling right now, so you'll hear. There you go. That's Baby and Benny.
Benny cuddled with me during the show. So cute.
Benny is a hater. No, Baby's a hater. Oh. Hey!
I don't think they're haters. They're lovers.
All right, Rox, continue the show while I...
Okay, let me just hold down the fort. So, you can listen, though, at the same time. Basically, oh, no, I want one of them. I want one. Okay, so we see... Oh, yes. Do you like Eva Longoria? So, yeah, we see Eva Longoria, and she looks as beautiful as ever. She's wearing all white suit, and of course, they end up cooking later on in the episode. I was like, oh, what a good choice for cooking. But he doesn't like her because her ass isn't big enough. Because...
Hold on one second. Can we get a lower third for Benny and Baby? That would be awesome. Anyway, continue the show.
Are you going to pee on my pad of paper?
Nah, he'll be good.
Oh.
So Eva Longoria cooks.
Yeah, no, but okay. So he doesn't like her because her ass isn't big enough. And because she doesn't speak in Spanish usually. I guess.
I would hate that too.
Oh, yeah, those seem like really good reasons to hate somebody. Not. She gives so much money to the Latina community, and she finances films for talking about things and documentaries.
She has a documentary coming out, if not already.
Yeah, so he was clearly just misinformed and ignorant, and that was her biggest problem with him because he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. It's like if you're going to really use that word hate, we throw it around so much now, but to really hate somebody,
that's strong.
You got to at least know them. How do you hate somebody you've never met?
And most of the time, we kind of debauched this last time, but a lot of times, most people are just, yes, baby is drinking out of my cup. She's thirsty too. But it comes down to ignorance.
Yeah.
Rather than actual hate. Like, okay, you just don't know. Yeah, as you said, don't know them.
I don't think there's anybody I hate that I've never met.
I think,
I mean like, not including people like Hitler or, I can't even think, Osama. Like, I feel even weird saying the name. But, like a celebrity that you don't like because blank reason. Yeah. Are you a hater?
There's only two people in my life that I hate, but I do know them very well, so. No, it's true. I mean, hate's a very strong word.
It's a very strong word.
And even people that I've gotten in confrontations with, and are like, why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? I'm like, I don't actually hate you. Yes, we have conflict.
I don't care enough about you to hate you.
Yeah, we have a conflict and all of that, but that doesn't mean I actually hate you. Hate is a very strong word.
Right. Except when you spell it H8R. Then it loses its meaning a little bit.
There you go. Now, speaking of, my question to you, last time we kind of had this theory that if you're wittier than your hater, you can convert them. But last time, Jake's thing was that his hater was way wittier than him. He didn't know how to open up to her. He didn't know how to convert her.
Right.
Was that must have been the case this time? I mean, Scott's a very outgoing guy. Eva is a very, I feel like she can go into any crowd, and find some level of way to connect.
Definitely, I think there's a lot about both of them that's very compelling, especially Eva. But they both are smart people. And I think that's why that they were both able to convert them. And I guess, yeah, if you were a very shy person, I didn't watch someone with Jake. So basically what happened? He just couldn't convert the person?
Basically, he was like, I'm going to show you a fun time. I'm going to show you a fun time. And he just kept saying that, building it up. And during the times, you still have to get to that point. Like, he was taking her to the airport so he could fly with her. And during the ride to the airport, he had nothing to say. Then when
Fly where?
just on an airplane, you know, like he's a pilot.
Oh.
And so he flew the plane and all that. And then, you know, they kind of had their heart to heart. And she kept saying, well, you're not really telling me anything.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, yes, I am. Yes, I am. And she was like, no. And she basically said why she hates him in a very compelling and articulate way. And he was like, well, you're just wrong. You just don't know me. And she's like, actually, you just try to convert me and all those things. I guessed exactly all of them that you were going to do. And I told you not to do certain things, and yet you did them, which proves my point.
Right.
And he was befuddled.
Yeah, if the hater has clear reasons why they hate somebody, such as you don't have a big enough butt and you aren't supporting the Latina community, if you can't take those points and say, here's why this one's wrong and here's why this one's wrong, and explain, then obviously...
You're never going to convert.
Right. But I think that most celebrities would be able to.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Jake from Bachelor. That's what he was on. So I don't think he's really a celebrity. He's more of a. I mean, he is a celebrity, but
he's an average. Like
he's a Joe Schmo.
Yeah, he was terrible at trying to convert.
The haters on this episode were pretty outgoing too, though, for sure.
But not as big as Eva Longoria has a huge personality.
Yeah. But so
Scott as well.
What's the deal? Basically, so they audition people, telling them that it's a different reality show.
Yeah, I mean they hoax those people into it.
Yeah, so a lot of the haters then, because they're obviously auditioning, are wannabe actors. So that's why I think a lot of them have big personalities. So because all of us wannabe actresses have huge personalities. No, but so they're somewhat intelligent, and that's why picking the celebrities, if you want people to be able to change people's minds, you have to pick really big people.
Yeah.
Who are loud and outgoing, such as Snooki from last week.
Well, her hater was just some like internet weird guy. Like he was totally not an actor.
Why do you hate her?
Because she drank and blah blah, and she was whatever.
So all the reasons I love her.
Yeah, but she converted him.
She did?
Yeah, of course she did.
It's Snooki.
It is Snooki.
What does Kevin call her? America's drunk, retarded sweetheart?
Yes. Yes.
My Snooki baby. I mean, I think that's just about it for the show. Other than if we
I agree.
It's short and sweet.
I just say we like it.
Wait, but last thing.
My hater?
Are you still?
No, I'm not a hater. And before we go to a commercial break, I do want to say, you know what, as you know, we kind of have quick conversation about this show, but it's a very entertaining show, and I applaud Mario Lopez for, you know, kind of taking. I don't want to compare it to Punk'd, but
yeah, but similar.
Similar, but I like it better.
Definitely, I like it better, and I think Mario Lopez is awesome, and he's got a beautiful smile with dimples.
There you go, Mario. You certainly don't have a hater here.
I'm not a hater. I'm a lover.
So, Maria, if you're listening, tell Mario to come down.
You want my phone number?
We'll just give him the studio phone number.
Oh, okay, fine.
All right, Jesse, what do you say we go to a commercial?
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
What? Okay.
It's called The Hater.
Oh.
Something like that.
I was like, oh, what is this, Jess? Yeah. Okay, so moving into predictions here. So next week we're seeing Kim
Hottie
Kardashian.
Hottie.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We're seeing Kim Kardashian, the hottie, and we're seeing Joe Francis. Really good week. That's going to be awesome. Kim Kardashian, I don't know who would hate her either.
I mean,
she's great.
Well, as we see, it's a woman who's basically just jealous of her looks.
In this episode, Eva Longoria laid out for us that there are multiple kinds of haters. There's the jealous hater, the ignorant hater, and just the mean hater.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian's hater is the jealous hater for sure.
That's right. However, Joe Francis's hater, I believe, has a strong case against him.
Do you think it's going to be the mom of somebody who's on Girls Gone Wild?
That could be it, or it's just a really concerned mom, and this one it's going to be very hard for him to convince her, especially bring her to a shoot.
He takes it. Why does he think that's a good idea?
So not a good idea.
That's awful. She seemed like this very conservative, blonde, like nice woman. He's trying to corrupt her.
Yeah,
and he takes her to a shoot, and we see this girl who's half naked. I think actually all naked. What?
Never gonna convert her.
Whose idea was that?
Joe's.
The thing is, though, just because that's what he does doesn't mean he's a bad guy. But people can't see that, especially moms. I don't know any mom who would be okay with that. Except, like, the mom on Mean Girls. She'd be okay with that.
She would.
So I guess that's what we're going to see, and more of my boyfriend Mario.
There you go. All right, so thank you, Roxy. And we thank Benny and Baby.
Oh, thanks, Benny and Baby, and thank you, Phil, and thank you, Jesse.
And we'll certainly be back next week, and you know what? We will try to get Mario.
I'm so happy you're not a hater.
Hey, I'm a man of love. All right, Jess, take us out of here.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.